Hello again, people. It is Wednesday, which means another episode of Bona Fide Bullshit. What episode are we on?
It is episode Trace.
Oh, shit. We're already on the Trace.
Yes, we are. This is the big episode 3. I appreciate everyone. Let me take that back. We appreciate everyone.
This is not a one-person show. Just a little reminder.
Sometimes you just be acting like it is a one-person show, so I wouldn't not say that.
I'm just the star, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's always a star of the show, and let's be honest, it's me.
Again with this fucking TikTok bullshit. You
right,
get a couple fucking trucker likes, and all of a sudden you're
we're coming in way too hot. It's called the TikTok train, okay?
Exactly.
You don't know about it. You're not on it. You don't have as many followers. It's fine. We're not going to dwell on that.
I'm good.
Here we are on podcast number 3 from our little home hodega.
Yes, that is
right. Yep, I said it.
The homedega.
No, I said hodega.
Yeah, hodega, because that's
not
what I
to be mistaken. Speaking of, not to sidestep really quick, but I just learned recently what a bodega was.
How the fuck? I mean, we used to. Still watch a lot of Jesus and Meryl, the Bodega Boys.
Yes,
that's a big New York thing.
I don't know that I correlated that name until, in the midst of Jesus and Meryl.
Bodegas are big in New York all over because obviously that city's so piled and congested. They don't have a lot of big box stores locally, so they rely on their local establishments, which is a bodega run by the Papi.
And you grew up in the city, and I grew up in the suburbs, and I think that's why, I didn't know what a bodega was. Well, I went to, 7-Eleven, Walgreens, Holla at White Hen Pantry. Do you remember that?
Oh, my God. I'll hit you. In my area, there was a J.J. Pepper's.
I'm that many years old.
Yeah, I had a J.J. Pepper's in my old neighborhood. We used to
It still exists. That one still exists. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, well, see, in my neighborhood, we had a lot of corner stores. So it was either called the corner store. For some godforsaken reason, my family would say the Mexican store because it was owned by someone of Latin descent that was Mexican, and they had the corner store. So they'd be like, I'm going to go to the Mexican store and get some candy. Or I'm going to go to the Mexican store and get some beer.
Where I was like, we're running to White Hen real quick. Going to take a 7-Eleven run.
Yeah, I think the biggest big box store that was around us had to be fucking Kmart. If she don't know what Kmart is, she's too young for you, bro.
Or Venture, also too young.
Or Zayres. Or Ames.
Ames?
Yeah, those are those.
That's a city thing, isn't it?
Those are those old school classic stores that,
I feel like it's a city thing.
If you went there, it was like special occasion shit. Because after the Mexican store, we used to go to fucking Cook Brothers. Cook Brothers is probably more locally based thing.
I've heard of it, but we never been. I don't think there is one around us.
That one's still located in the hood, and there's one over in Costner, that people still get out there. But yeah, this is the big episode 3.
Yeah.
We appreciate everybody that's been tuning in and rocking out with us. The comments have been ridiculous. The reshares have been fucking phenomenal. We truly, truly appreciate you guys doing that and showing us love. And it's been exciting. We hit 100 downloads last week. We'll see what we'll clip this week.
Podcast famous.
I'm going to be honest. At the end of the day, it ain't all about the numbers. I know everybody's analytical and numbers driven, but we're just having fun. So whether 5 people listen, no people listen, 20 people listen, 1,000 people listen, we don't care. We're just out here just having fun. I'm glad I'm able to do this with you. It's been a blast. We've been having great laughs.
Listen, it's 30 minutes away from the kids that we get to close the door and do some other shit that has nothing to do with them or really anything else, not your 9-to-5 job, not my family business, not literally anything, just kind of coffee talk.
Yeah, it's just a clean breakaway to bullshit and just fuck around and talk, which I enjoyed, and everybody loves the conversations that we talk about, and each week, there's just different stuff that we literally talk about on the fly.
Listen, anytime we could come together and do something is nice, because like we've said before, we're so much of opposites, we do totally different things, and it's nice to come together and be able to do something with each other.
It definitely is, but once again, like I said again, we appreciate the love, everybody that's been rocking with us, and we're looking forward to the growth, looking forward to the more comments, the more messages. Keep them coming. We love them, and we're happy that you guys are enjoying the show.
Yeah, definitely. So speaking of shows, we were watching a show earlier, documentary on 6ix9ine.
Tekashi 6ix9ine.
And that's kind of how
Get him with the blicky, hit him with the sticky,
What's the other one that I really like?
You like the Spanish one?
I like the super ratchet ones.
Yeah, so do I. When he first burst in the scene,
especially when I'm exercising, I'm like,
it's the most forgotten thing with artists is the people that are behind the beats. But those beats get you going, and that aggressive
and
sound.
Honestly, you remember when you first told me about him, and you're like, oh, this is him. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And then every time I listen to the song, I'm like, God damn it. I'm fucking catching on real quick. And then it's in my head. And then I'm adding it to my Spotify playlist. And I'm like, fuck. I'm a believer.
It's so crazy you said that because actually about a month ago, Spotify sent me this thing like, because you know how they do that big thing like at the end of the year they'll tell you your most listened to artists, which always is Bad
And it
Bunny
was
for me.
6ix9ine? Oh yeah.
No, but it was like artists
It was like the runner-up or
no,
something?
it was like artists you discovered before they blew up, and I took some screenshots, and it was him. You hit the little thing, and it took you to the Rap Caviar thing, and it was like you discovered 6ix9ine before he blew up, and blah blah blah. So, you know,
I always think when we see documentaries like that, because you're big into the documentaries and watching stuff like that.
I love it.
I always kind of like I'm like, oh, what are we watching? Great, snooze fest. But then I get like reeled into it, and then I end up, I think, really liking the artist more because of the whole backstory. That whether we've watched him, like Nicky Jam, I can't even remember like the other ones we've watched.
There's so many.
Like,
This quarantine, we've been just like
so
documenting
many,
Harry.
and I'm just like, fuck, man, I love them even more now. So
yeah, Hulu just did that special that just dropped. I think it was yesterday or over the weekend that they did like a little documentary on him. This film director did, and like went to his neighborhood in New York and whatever, and his bringing in. It actually broke down pre, 6ix9ine, what everybody sees with the colored hair when he was young, and his story's crazy. And I know everybody's big on that fucking. He's a fucking rat. He's a snitch. But again, I
think there's just so much more to that story and any one person, and I think. That's my question, I guess, with this whole thing, like, where they talked about the one guy I think it was his manager, and he was like, the 6ix9ine that everyone sees is different from the Danny is his name? The Daniel that I know, who is very quiet and blah, blah, blah. And I guess that's my question, is your persona on social or when you are, quote, unquote, entertaining, how different is that from your real life? Because I'll tell everyone that like when we met, obviously we spoke about that before, it was like in a very corporate atmosphere, but then you have this completely different persona that you're this DJ and you're very like, you're such an entertainer, and it's crazy. But then when you get off the mic or off the stage or off whatever, you're so different. Like you get off the the turntables. I remember you get off the turntables at the club and you'd like hide from everyone and want to like dip out and literally not talk to anyone, where I'd be like, hey, la la la, because I'm just like this little social butterfly, where you're just like beeline out, like that's it, entertainment over, and that's like your personality, where it's like very you're able to entertain, but when you're done, you're kind of like to yourself and a little bit more reserved, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't want to fuck up this saying. It was introverts and extroverts, right? Isn't like introvert is where you're quiet and whatever, and extrovert is
really confusing though. There's so many layers to it.
Yeah. So, and I think I have them both. Not on no bipolar split personality shit, but you're right.
Sure.
Nah, I ain't crazy here, okay?
I'm bipolar. But I'm the bipolar one. Anyways, that's
women
time.
in general are bipolar, but that's a whole other episode that we could get into. Episode. But yeah, I think the thing here is that, for me personally, and it was something that I struggled with, and that firsthand, where it was like when there was also times where I couldn't leave DJ Eli at the door and just be Eli inside the house, or Eli. I used to go by Eli, or still do, whatever. Yeah. But
or I'd be like, don't talk like that. You sound like you're talking DJ talk.
I didn't know how
DJ
to
voice.
Turn it on, turn it off. But then you're right. There was times where I would be, whether it was doing shows out on the road or whether doing nightclubs like you got to witness firsthand here. Where it's like on stage, I'm like this crazy live going at it, like going nuts, and then when I'm done, like I get back to me, and it's just. It's hard to explain. Like there's just
hard to separate.
Not hard to separate. I'm just saying like when you're on stage and if you have that persona, there's something when you connect with people and fans. It's a drug. I remember like my first time being on stage with Mars, just pointing at somebody while I'm on stage and they're fucking going nuts, screaming, like looking at me. You're just like, and all I did was point at that person. And it's just a feeling.
It's an exciting feeling to look at someone's face and see like legit happiness and excitement and everything.
It is, and that's something that I miss when we go to shows. Like when we kicked it with my homie Tech9, who I did shows and toured with, and you got to see like I was looking around like, man, I miss this feeling. Like when.
And same with him, like it's very like you introduced me to his music, which is crazy and amazing. Mm-hmm. I wasn't very familiar with it, but then we were able to hang out with him like outside of there, and his wifey, who's amazing, and it's again very different to see the persona on stage that he is. Not that it's so different in person, but he's just an all-around nice guy like yourself. Like, you think, one is just so crazy, like crazy DJ, oh my God, like he has so much going on, and that you'd be like that, I guess, off stage, but you're just so chill off stage, like totally different in my opinion.
It is, and again, another example was, it was funny because like I do these Drew Estate events to talk to about a current situation, and My boy Gary, shout out to Gary from Drew State. Like, I do the trade shows. The trade show is more of a reserve setting. You get people that are buying, you got customers.
Business.
Yeah, but I'm still providing the music and the vibe where everybody's hanging out in the Drew State Lounge. And then I had to do the nightclub, which was at the Sahara Casino. And it's a big ass stage, lights, and
that's the one I missed.
Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, your flight didn't get in in time. But I remember him walking over. He's like, "Where the fuck is this during the day? Not that it's bad during the day, but where's this?" I go, "Bro, it's a different energy. It's a different vibe. It might be this, and again, it's the setting. It's the stage, the lights, the sounds. Like, you know, at the trade shows, the last couple of years, I've been pissing other vendors off because they're like, the music's so loud, and they know that Jonathan Drew, shout out to the homie JD, loves fucking music banging loud. The Drew Estate is the most reckless loud booth, and I fucking love it. But I can't, like, it's not a crowd that's in front vibing out. They're literally smoking cigars, walking around, taking orders, doing whatever the fuck they're doing. And when I'm there, they were all literally on the dance floor, and I'm fucking, like, just going nuts. And these guys are like, oh, my God. And even the next morning, they're like, hey, where the fuck would that guy come from? And I told them again, like, you guys haven't got to see me do a full nightclub experience or haven't got to see me rock shows. And
those trade shows are so business heavy. Like, people are doing sales and stuff like that. But, you know, Jonathan Drew and Drew Estate, they create, like, this lounge at the couple times I've been that's really cool. And I think just cigar smoking in general in the community is all about that vibe and creating a vibe. And I think that's what you were there for. But yeah, I could see, I guess, maybe other, I don't know, sales businessmen maybe are just like, all right, this is too much, whatever. But again, I think you can change those personas or the levels of how entertainment, I guess you could say, depending in the situation that you're at, where it's like for me, I'm not in any kind of entertainment so for me, it's like the persona I am or try to exude on social or anywhere else, I hope is, you know, or I try to convey, like, that's me in real life too. Like, the persona you see on social, like, the funny, I like to think, sarcastic, asshole, whatever, is the same exact person. If you meet me, I am the same. Like, it will not change. You won't see me in person. I'm going to be like, and, like, shrivel up in some, like, awkward, I can't talk to you. Like, it's the same. But for you, it's, like, it's different in every scenario, right?
Yeah, it's just scenario based. I mean, because, like, I mean, we talked about this before where, you know, I might be quiet and I might not approach you, but then once I approach you or you approach me and we talk, then it's like we've been best friends since forever.
Yeah,
you know,
you definitely are like that.
What my homie George from Come Smoke With Us down in Miami, shout out to George, you know, he was like, man, the first time I met this guy in person, it was like I knew him since we were fucking in elementary school, you know, because we just talk, we bullshit, but I do tend to be quiet at first. I'm that egg you gotta crack, and then when you crack, I'm nonstop
I'm like,
and going.
Hey, we're best friends, right? Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it takes me just like, and it literally takes me like 2.5 seconds to warm up to you. But again, you know, when you're doing these shows,
it's a comfortability level. It's a connection, I think, for you. Like, you really connect with one person on something, whether it's a job, whether it's cigars or something else. Like, you really find that, and it makes you feel like you could connect with that person at heart.
Yeah, and so the same thing with DJing. It's like like I said, when you're out there and whatnot, you know, that you feed off the people. It's not like an ego thing. It's not nothing like that nature.
No,
and
it's a feeling.
Yeah, there's some people that might take that. There's some people that might become a certain persona, and they might fucking take that persona on, and then they're like, well, that's who I am. In that case with 6ix9ine, they were saying how he started hanging out with Bloods, but he wasn't really a game banger. It wasn't really like that. I don't go to that extreme, obviously. That's definitely an extreme example, but, you know, I mean, I can't come home fucking trying to get my family to rock out and party out. Like, no, that's my chill time. That's where I'm going to reset and be me. And like I said again earlier, you know, it's that thing of like, it took me a while to separate both. Because like I said, there was times that I would bring DJ Eli home and I had to fucking leave him at the door.
Like, literally, maybe in the last few years, you have really found that balance with work, outside work, family, us time, you time, like everything. And it is really hard. You know, it really is hard. Like, things have been so ever changing in the past, even just 5 years from us, between having our last kid, changing jobs, getting new opportunities, promotions, you know, fucking the pandemic, all the crazy shit that's been going on. Like, I get it. It's a really hard balance. And even now, like, the balance is fucking off. It really is in life in general. And the fact that we're just still holding up and fine is, I guess, you know, kudos to us.
Yeah, I mean, and
we haven't killed each other.
I think that's one thing that always strengthens our relationship. Like you just said, kudos to us. We get through it. We work together through it as a partnership, you know, and I think that's where some of my other DJ friends, they would hit me up and they'd be like, man, how do you guys do it? You guys look perfect. I'm like, nah. And I'm like, and not that we're putting like I said, I'm not putting a facade online and then behind the closed doors, it's fucking shambles and it's problems. It's just that
No, not
together
at
we
all.
work together as a unit. You know the old saying, Kevin Hart's like, move as a unit. Like we move as a
Yeah.
unit.
We
So
try to at least. Listen,
Yeah,
like
and I
when
do
people are like, oh my God, you're like couple goals, like, bruh, like we're a fucking hot mess.
it's
Okay,
flattering.
like,
Thank you. I
yeah,
appreciate
like,
it. You know,
we might not put our fights on social media, but listen, like you fucking annoy me, like so much.
Likewise.
I have a list. I haven't written it down. It's in my head.
I have
like,
a hard drive full.
So many.
2 terabyte.
I have so many. Like it's in the cloud. You don't even know. But you know, where's the cloud?
It's right above us.
It's right above us.
It's on the line.
It's on the line.
Shout out to that movie.
What movie is that?
That's what what's his face, Vince Vaughn. I think he's trying to work for Google. Yeah, he's like, it's on the line. It's in the cloud, on the line.
Okay.
But
we sidetrack.
yeah, as always. But yeah, I mean, it's that thing where it's like, you know, as long as you find that person that you could get through it with, and I'm very grateful that I get through shit with you because, like I said, I get hit up a lot, and there's plenty,
We've been through
plenty
a
of
lot.
plenty of friends of mine,
Crazy.
like I said, DJ friends, entertainment friends, that are just like, man, I know work out, she wasn't like this or wasn't like this, and you know, at the end of the day, it's like you can't just have her just want to accept you for all her flaws and you not accept her for her flaws, or know that you guys could work through it. And I can't not fucking say that enough. You just gotta pound the pavement and work through it and make the best of it. And I think we do a great job at that.
Every relationship takes work. It doesn't matter if it's a romantic relationship, husband, wife, friendship. Like, you know, it takes work on both ends and love on both ends. And I remember when we first met, I'd be like, who are your friends? And you're like, list all these people. You had like a laundry list of friends. I'm like, nah, who's your friends?
Yeah.
Like, who do you call? And then you were like, oh, well, and you had a handful of friends at the time. And, you know, some are still your friends, some are still are not anymore.
Speaking of differentiating, it was like telling the difference between who was an acquaintance and who was a friend. That's where you schooled me. You're like, well, no, that's an acquaintance. I'm like, no, that's a friend. Because the thing with me is I give you all my trust right off the bat. I'm going to let you in, your family, you're my brother, you're my sister. Like, right off the bat, I'm going to give you all that trust. But you do something and you trip it up and you fuck it up, it ain't going to be the same. And most people will feel that because then I'm just going to stretch my arm and keep your arm like, we're cool. I see you. So. I'm going to dab you up and say, what's up? Say, what's up, fam? But it ain't like family.
And I think me being the opposite of that, like, I will be your friend. Like, I'm very friendly, very social, but I will not give you my trust. No way, right away.
It was so hard because, you know, like, I know so many people and you create these...
You're more good-hearted than me. Honest to God. Like, no, not funny shit. Like, you're just more good-hearted. And, like, I would see it from the outside on the other end. Not that I'm always right, but I'd see it and be like, yo, this friend is bogus. Or, you know, they're, like, doing you dirty. And you're just, like, letting them walk on you. Like, you're so... almost overly nice to a fault sometimes, which is good and bad,
and people
obviously.
and they'll have flaws that I can see because it, you know, I think what fucks with me is because if they have certain flaws and I see past it or I truly see their worth, I guess you try to hope that they don't continue to be like that or hope that they don't act like that. And sometimes I've been fucking proven right and sometimes I've been proven wrong. I mean, I'll be fucking honest right now. There's a group of motherfuckers that I definitely was proven wrong and I know where they're at. You know what I mean? And like I said,
but friends are, I told you, like, friends are like ever changing. It's like seasons. And I have no hard feelings to friends that I still have that maybe I just don't talk to as much, or friends that I used to have that I don't talk to at all. Like, you know, we all grow and sometimes it's growing differently. Sometimes it's growing apart. Sometimes it's different interests. And like, sometimes you just don't mesh as well. Like the person and things you did at, I don't know, 22 are so different than what you're doing now at like 36. You know, so how, you know, how can you just always mix well with every single person in life? I mean, that's what we always tell, like, our son. Like, we don't expect you to get along with everyone. Not everyone should be your best friend, you know, but that also doesn't mean, like, they're your enemy.
No, and, you know, and it's interesting you say that. So, last week, unfortunately, I had to go to a wake of a good friend of mine, my homie Noise. His grandmother passed away, who was like a mother to him. So obviously that's in my old neighborhood. And on my way back, I went by myself and I'm driving back in the car and I passed the old recording studio that I used to record out of with PDV.
I went there once, right?
Yeah, you were
not
there.
inside. I met you outside, I think.
Yeah, no, you came there twice because then there was a time when Martin came in. There's pictures of him sitting with myself and Pac and whatnot. But
is that the same one?
Yeah, same studio, yeah. But I started going as I'm driving down Cicero Avenue, which is a street out here in Chicago. and I'm started reminiscing. Like I closed my eyes and I was like, man, to think when I was standing in front there in my 20s, the shit that I was on, we were hanging out in front.
Well, good memories, right? Like nothing that gives you like sour. You know, those are
nothing
memories
that gives me...
like you keep forever in your heart. And even though maybe whoever that person you're talking about is, like, you might not talk to them every day or ever anymore, like, it's still in there, and you think about it and you're like, man,
it was good signs. But I think of I look back at myself and I go, fuck, man, I remember hanging out in that corner, you know, all fucking day. It's late morning, or hanging out there and then going to DJ and coming back, leaving there, you know, going in there when the sun came up and coming out of there when the sun came up.
Doesn't that life seem so far away?
It seems so far away. But I looked at it, I'm like, man, the shit that you are on when you're in that age group. And I mean, granted, back then, like,
what you did
compared to the age group of people that I hang out with now, who they grow, and I still have friends that from my 20s that are still on that same bullshit, which is unfortunate, because then you don't show no growth. Like, I was funny because then again, like, you know how Facebook has little memory stings, and you look, even my looks, like, at least I could look and see a timeline of me changing, which is growth. But I have certain buddies of mine that I'll look and they feel like what they look like in fucking 2007 is what they look like, and what they're doing is what they're doing now in 2020, which is sad.
Same
you know,
shit, different year.
Same shit, different year.
Decades, like literally decades, because I've known you since 2008. A decade and some change later, which is crazy, because the person I was back then, holy hot fucking mess. I mean, total disaster. We both were, and to see our pictures even from back then to now, like, we laugh. We laugh sometimes. We talk about it almost like tears, because, like, man, we've come so far. Like,
the funniest thing out of that era,
real still, but, like, you know, we've come real fucking far.
The funniest thing about talking about growth and whatnot, it's like, now that you say that, like, the first thing that hit my mind when you're saying about our looks, and I remember you used to always have your hair in different colors, and you would spray it with whatever, or
color it. It was like purple, pink, red.
But whatever it was, like, whenever, you know, we hung out at night, and, you know, for snuggle time. I always wear a white t-shirt under me, and it's like I would wake up in the morning with, like, your streaks of that color from, like, when you were laying under my arm. And it was funny because I think about that. I remember, like, all those white tees, those Hanes white tees that I had with the fucking purple, red, whatever.
Listen, that was like when we first met. And I was really going through it, you know, like I was.
You were hitting on all cylinders.
I was like, oh my God, I was a hot mess. I was trying to find myself, coloring my hair every color, cutting it, you know, every 5 seconds. And that's the funny thing. Like, I'm so, like, not even, like, I'm physically different, like, everything from, you know, when you first met me. But for some reason, you liked me then, and you accepted me and my hot mess life and everything that it was. And even though we've had a handful of problems, especially when we first met, when we're starting to date, like, you still, like, stood by me and kept coming back. But, you know.
The boomerang.
Yeah, like a boomerang.
The boomerang did you reduce
really
situation?
Did. You accepted me for, like, who I was. And every year that I change, whether it's my looks or what I like or what I'm trying to do, like, you always support me and stand by me. So
again, and that's what I go back to what I said before. It's being able to support each other. Same here with me. You knew my flaws. You knew the shit I had going on, the distractions in my life, the zero fucking chill, the not knowing how to separate the two people from the DJ to the regular person.
Fucking broke as a joke.
Broke as a joke. God. Fucking, I mean, yeah. God, you know, it's that old fucking thing when you're like, if I knew what I would have known now when I was young, like, the first thing I would have done is not spend all the money on all those fucking shoes and clothes, because I spent hundreds and hundreds upon thousands of dollars, and I look back at it now, it's not there. If I would have just socked a little bit away, it would have been a different scenario. You start thinking where I would have been now if I would have socked a little away. But
too late.
I have no regrets. You know, I don't have no regrets.
Tattooed on you.
Tattooed on me. No regrets right there, because it's just, you live and learn. And I think if you don't learn and you get to see it firsthand, that you won't, because then maybe, hey, might fucking hit me in my 30s. You know what I mean? Like, I don't ever see myself going through like a midlife crisis, you know, because that's just not my style. And I think I learned from shit. What I learned from stuff, you just got to learn and grow. But it goes back to what we just said about 10, 15 minutes ago, which is like that support system. Like you saying what you had going on, knowing that I supported you, but then same thing, it's reciprocal.
Of course,
on my end. What I had going on, and you supported me.
You've learned and grown so much over the years, and even with what we were talking about with friends, who are your friends, like, you've really, you know, we have some great friendships now, and even like friends who are like family, like Framily. I said it. Framily. I don't know if that's new shit. I don't know if I made it up. I'm just going to say it. Maybe I did. Anyways, Framily, who are friends who are like family. And we love them. We have a handful of friends that are like that. Shout outs to the Get Hypes who are like our family. So, you know, we cherish those people and those relationships just like as much as we cherish each other and our family. Like that friends who are family are like, you know, I consider them family because they love us. They love our kids as if they were their own.
It's a foundation.
It's a foundation.
Support
those are
system.
the kind of like relationships that you could only hope and dream for when you're and dream about when you're young. Like when we first met and you're like, who are your friends? And you're just like, I don't know. You know, like you just hope, you know, it's amazing to have people like that in your life.
It is, you know, and again, the key word here is that having that foundation amongst friends, that stability, that structure,
that relationship,
that supports. You know what I mean?
They're like your cheerleaders, just like we cheer each other on. Like there's, you know, our friends who we cheer on too in life in general.
Because there's times where I remember where you got someone that'll say, "Oh, bro, I support you," or "I got your back," or "It's all love."
Like,
but then you turn around and you're like, how come I heard from so and so, you know, secondhand fucking conversations of them hating, you know, where it's like, oh, bro, that's so dope, you're doing this, but then you go hear from somebody else, they're fucking salty because they're not doing that and you are. Versus someone that says, oh, bro, that's dope, you're doing that, to like, really, damn, bro, that's really fucking dope, you're doing that, you know? And I think that's what people need to realize. And as they get older, and to our listeners who are in their 30s like us, you know, where you're looking for that, make sure you hone those people in and you fucking don't ever let them go. You know what I mean? Like, like I said, there's a set of friends that we have that we love with all our heart, that I know that when I'm in dire need, whether it's me calling my homeboy Fabio at 5 o'clock in the morning because my garage fucking snapped and I can't get it open, and he was willing to, doesn't start work till later, willing to come here to help me out, to Al when I have an issue or whatever, and I could lean on him like the big brother that I never had, to looking out for the Sierras and whenever they need anything, whether it's with Eli or their
Maria's
kids.
Got the deals, you know what I mean?
Maria with her fucking deals.
She got the deals.
Her
she got the
fucking,
hookup.
For those of you, if you ever cross paths with Maria Sierra, stay away. Because her and my wife had this little fucking trick where they find these quote-unquote deals and then shit
quote-unquote, I literally got the Ninja double air fryer, shout out to Ninja, for $100. It was $50 off, just saying.
Que tanto her deals, is what I say.
Anyways, thank you very much.
You know, those are a group of friends that we have that are family. You know what I mean? That I love that relationship that we have with them, and we grow with them and trust. And that's what people ask me, when you guys ask me, you guys see me, you guys message me, and you ask me certain things about my relationship with Angel or the people that are around us. That's the fucking, I just gave you the life hack right there. We just gave you the life hack.
That's the support system, man. Like that you could go to like your friends and just take a break, talk about life, bitch about me. You know what I mean? Like just.
Oh no, I have nothing bad to ever say about you.
I know, because I'm perfect.
You hear that? My nose is growing like Pinocchio. But yeah, when you could go to them, you could confide in them, and because I've been in situations and you've been in situations where there's people you could confide in and talk to, and then they go say your shit. Listen, so that's also maybe reserve that first to say things to certain people or to have certain conversations with people, because then I'm like, fuck, well, the last two motherfuckers wouldn't have said something.
Listen, the Framily has really made such a big impact in our life and in our relationship. I mean, it's huge to be able to talk to someone like the Get Hypes, like Gabby. Like, I mean, those are just like some of the most positive, amazing people I've ran into.
Gabby be spitting that shit. Shout out to Gabby, the owner of High Voltage Hair Society.
That motherfucker, like, I can't even, like, start with that shit because it's so fucking amazing.
She's a fucking guru.
Listen, fucking Gabby came into my life. Her husband has been cutting our kids' hairs and your hair for over a decade.
Shout out to the homie Easy, keeping me fresh and clean, the boys fresh and clean.
She shoots rainbows out of her ass. That's how positive she is, and I cannot say that I've always been like that. But as soon as we met, she like turned that around, like legit. It's crazy. She changed my outlook on life, on relationships, you know, us, friendships, everything. So like, again, it's just so important to have those people around you.
It is, and hopefully soon for all our listeners, we're looking forward to at some point having her and Eric on. Eric, aka Easy, he owns Skull and Thrones, the barbershop.
The most fucking talented, creative people I know.
Yeah.
No bullshit, not even because they're my friends. Like, I look at their fucking social media online and I'm like, God fucking damn it. Like,
and you know what I always loved about him?
Even happen?
He's always uplifted people. And you know how many, you talk about venting to someone, there's times, because obviously for every man, you go to the barbershop, you either vent with all the guys when you're sitting in the barbershop.
Whatever.
But he doesn't have your typical barbershop setup. which is awesome and it's unique in its own. And the one-on-ones that I've had with him since he's been cutting my hair for well over more than 13, 14 years.
Well over.
I remember
Martin's 13 and he's been cutting him since he was 2.
Yeah, I mean, there's times where we talked about from when it was my journey getting into cigars deeper, because I was already into cigars and he smoked cigars too, but him, you know, the advice or the different stuff from life, and, you know, him seeing things through a different through a different pair of eyes, and again, that's that positivity. He's always uplifting. He uplifts his own stylist, you know what I mean?
True.
Or he calls him the artist. He uplifts his artist, and Gabby does that well too. So they're definitely a couple that I can't wait to have on here at some point, so they could talk and you guys can get some of that uplifting that they've given us. And it's another set that's in that ranking for us of people that are around us that are Framily.
Yep. And legit in our heart, like especially around this time of year, around the holidays and everything, like just thankful in general, like super fucking thankful for us, for our relationship, for our kids, for our family, for our family. It means a lot. So
it definitely does. Well, with that said, this is it. This is episode 3.
It's over.
It is over. We appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, don't forget to follow us on our social media pages. You can check us out on Instagram at Bona Fide BS, but you're going to do that Bona Fide _BS. Check us out there. You're also going to go ahead and hit up what's yours?
Fit Mess. Fit _mess _mom. Holla at the underscores because we good at it.
And I go by Smokin' E, SMKN _E. Check us out. Hit us up. Let us know what you guys think about this latest episode. We're going to keep them rolling because you know what Wednesdays is for. Like you already heard wifey say, Wednesdays are for podcasting. So
for potting.
So let's go. Everybody have a great rest and blessed of your week.
Rest and blessed?
Yeah, because you want to
blessed
rest up.
Rest. Doesn't matter.
Blessed. You want to be blessed and you want to rest.
Stop rapping, 6ix9ine. Okay. Peace out. Till next time.